You say, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously.
I take them as seriously as cancer.
Approaching them in good faith.
Throat cancer in particular.
But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
You have to wait
No. You just know.
till the court rules.
Oh.
Overruled. There was a statement and then a question.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to hand you what I've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 129. That's from your show, isn't it?
I have no way of knowing. I don't really see what goes out on air.
That's justice on fire.
Huh, okay. That's from your show, isn't it?
Yes, I haven't seen this.
And you've been running this video repeatedly, haven't you?
No, I've not been there all the time.
You haven't been there a lot of the time. You've been there every day this last week, haven't you? Every single day.
No, I taped some of the shows. No, I've been there today.
Your Honor, I'd like to move 129 into evidence.
I haven't been there today. I mean, I'm testifying, so I have a fill-in. It's a big, you know what I mean? Because I don't like to eat and then go on the air because I get acid reflux.
Is this impeachment evidence? Is this I'm not exactly sure what Mr. Bankston wants to do with.
I think
He's impeaching his earlier claim that he's taking shit seriously when he goes and he leaves here and he goes straight to the fucking studio and puts a picture of the fucking judge up with makes her look like she runs hell.
wants to impeach Mr. Jones with it.
Does he want to introduce it? Is it just to show to the jury, or does he want it to
No, I
go
think
into evidence?
I'm first moving
Moved
to
it
it as
into
evidence.
evidence. He's moving that it be accepted into evidence. Do you have an objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the legal objection?
401, 403.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may, Your Honor.
This is basically, he's trying to throw a monkey wrench in the fucking trial so that he can actually just basically say, I didn't get a fair trial because the judge didn't like the fact that I used free speech against her when I wasn't in there. Same shit Bannon's doing right now.
Plaintiff's 129 is admitted.
You think?
Can you display 129? Yes, you can. The person on the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And both of them are women,
One of the things you can take.
as is Lady Justice herself.
One of the things you've been talking about a lot recently on your show, even within the past couple months, is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Sure, if that's a yes, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And on Thursday,
He didn't do that with Trump I mean, we know about airline flights with people, as Epstein managed to get himself close to people largely through big donations. But the footage of him actually partying with people, the majority of that footage we're seeing is him and Trump, and boy, were they fucking cozy.
you and Infowars started connecting those allegations to our judge, didn't you?
No.
Yeah, you did, dumbass.
In fact, Mr. Jones, you're telling the world not to believe what happens in this courtroom because the judge worked with Child Protective Services, who you say is involved with pedophilia and child trafficking, correct?
Not all of it, but it's the Texas Youth Commission got caught doing it a lot. There's been a lot of that here.
I'm not asking you that, Mr. Jones. I'm asking you, you're telling the world not to believe what's happened in this trial because this judge is involved with CPS, who is working with child traffickers and pedophilia, correct?
No, that's not
What? Uh-oh.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we would like to show a clip from Mr. Jones' show on Thursday.
Where he's precisely says you shouldn't trust this judge because she works with CPS, which is linked to child trafficking.
Thursday, where those words are said.
For impeachment
Oh my God,
purposes.
this prick.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to hear the clip.
I'd like to hear the clip. Motherfucker, it's your client. Watch his show. You should have somebody on the team Alex should have to pay an hourly rate to somebody on his legal team to watch his goddamn show and take notes.
All right. Do we have a system or just the, okay.
Yeah, it's not going to come up.
And it won't show you.
I think it's a bad idea. I told you we never should have taken this case. You're my favorite son, Charlie. And yet somehow you dragged me into this bullshit. I was almost out. And you managed to get me the shittiest client in the world. Just say no. Walk away.
We'd argue this is impeachment on a collateral matter. Not appropriate to get into improper impeachment.
Well, those are two different objections and a statement. So is it impeachment on a collateral matter or an improper impeachment?
It is an improper impeachment because it is on a collateral matter.
No, you can't do it like that, dummy.
And the collateral matter is what he's saying about me.
Correct.
And the question is about whether he's taking this seriously.
Correct.
Overruled.
Yeah, no shit.
This time, we should.
Jesus Christ, these like momentary. Can we pause? I need to check and see if my client's a douchebag. I need like 12 minutes of pause between my client being a douchebag. Your Honor? All right, I admit it. He's a douchebag. Let's get back to it. Just like remember what he just said. Like the only reason the attorney stops this shit, it's because he knows it's exactly going to say this.
Judge Maya Gamble comes from CPS, who has been exposed for human trafficking and working with pedophiles.
Basically like, huh? Also Instahard. Also Diet Force.
That's what you mean when you say you're taking this seriously.
I take this as serious as cancer. And, I mean, I don't know, you show somebody else's clip that they're always a few seconds long. Why don't you play the whole thing?
Mr. Jones, that's not someone else's clip, is it?
Well, I didn't direct it or produce it, what I'm saying. I mean,
You
it's-
certainly published it.
I'm not standing behind it. I have to see the full thing.
So you don't stand by the things you publish about our judge on your show repeatedly, day after
No, I
day.
said I don't not stand behind it.
I don't not stand behind it. All right, thank you. Back up.
to see not just 5-second clips.
I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Look, I said we haven't repeatedly said that this judge is linked to CPS, which has been attached to child sex trafficking and human trafficking, and then you show a clip that says exactly that, and I don't not want to say that it don't not want to be real, but I can't know. I don't know. I'm just a man.
Well, we can talk about
Or two.
what you said before that.
Can you
and
play?
after.
How long's the clip? Can you play the whole clip?
Mr. Jones, you're not asking questions today. You understand that, sir?
Oh, I thought I could ask to see a full document. If somebody showed me something, I could see what it was.
I
This
don't-
is a question from the lawyer, answer from the witness.
Okay.
Not the other way around.
The only thing
Yeah, your lawyer can play the whole fucking clip to rebut what was said. Your Honor, can I speak to counsel for 1 second? Whisper, whisper, whisper. They go back and say, then after you're done, you go like, would you redirect? You go, Your Honor, we would like to play the whole clip wherein he goes, psych, just kidding.
I want to ask you about is not all the other weird stuff you said in that video. I just wanted to ask you about the question that I asked you, which you said, no, I'm not saying the judge is connected to pedophile and child trafficking. This is you taking this trial seriously and in good faith? That's what this is?
It's a 5-second clip. I don't know what you've cut off or on.
Does it matter? Is there anything before and after that
Yes, we took out the nudge, nudge, and the say no more. Get fucked, you clown.
that would make it great to show pictures of our judge on fire and telling the world she's involved in pedophile? Can you tell me the context that would occur before or after that makes that
I'm sorry.
great? Excuse me. Sorry, Mr. Blunt.
I believe you. If you're only wanting to go off 5 seconds, I believe the thing is, the judge is the fire burning Lady Liberty.
You're getting me into the artistic nature of Infowars. This is what we would call like scorched earth.
It's not the judge. The judge is consuming freedom.
Wouldn't you agree with me?
Of course, she's consuming freedom. You are what you eat, Your Honor. I meant it as a compliment.
Mr. Jones, I sure hope some of your viewers are able to make that distinction that you just split on the hair, don't you?
Object to the
All I know is-
stipulation, Your Honor.
Withdraw.
Is that I take this very
Staying
serious.
and withdrawn, so stop.
Excuse me. How am I supposed to use every sentence as a springboard to filibuster if you keep shutting me down when I get off topic?
Tell the jury you're taking this trial seriously.
Doesn't it look like I'm taking it seriously? That's some seriously hard work. The flames burning justice? I mean, Jesus Christ, people go to art school and learn that shit.
But you're telling the world that someone inside Travis County government rigged the jury summons and picked these jurors specifically who don't know what planet they are on. Correct? That's what you're telling the world.
Yeah.
I'm saying that could potentially be a danger if they don't know what's going on.
I think that's potentially.
If they don't know that Sandy Hook was an inside job. I mean, fuck 9/11. I mean, fuck that George Bush is running this. We're in Texas, right? Where the fuck am I?
That's what you're saying. Potentially. You didn't go on your show and say those words, is what you're going to tell me.
Can you show me?
I would be happy to. For the
Please do.
purposes of impeachment, we would like to now offer a video from Mrs. Jones' show on Friday saying those words.
Last Friday. You dumb son of a bitch. Getting a bit of Nathan Thurm bites. I know that. Why would you think I'd know that? Of course I know that. I know that. You don't think I know that? Of course I know that. I know that. Ugh. They're not gonna just ask me if I said shit and then wait till I say no to play clips of me saying shit, are they? Fuck me. Deep inside the brain of Alex Jones. What is Alex thinking at this moment? Let's all move in. Yeah, that's what I thought he was thinking. I learned, please keep crossfading over, and I just want the judge sitting there going, hello. Just keep, why are you showing me the candy dish? Back up. You know what? Never mind. That was my mistake. Go back to the candy dish. I don't need to look at this asshole. Ladies and gentlemen, we all wondered. Thank you, Jolie. Bless you. We always wondered what Alex Jones would look, or what Wolverine would look like with a shellfish allergy. I had no idea that eating strawberries was the one thing my X-Men powers wouldn't protect me from. Okay. Clip. Get to it. Oh, this is his asshole lawyer's watching it again. Like, I just want to see his lawyer going, fuck. Yes, Your Honor. Objection. To what? It's devastating to my case. Fuck. Like, he just needs to, like, watch these clips and just look up at Alex and then look back. Way to be prepared. Objection, Your Honor. Just object. You want as much time between what he says and them showing that he was lying as possible, so that maybe these people, these kids today with their short attention spans, their brains will drift and they'll forget that he lied in the first place. He's fainting. You're losing him. He fell down. All right, we lost him. I got it, Charlie. I got it. Yeah.
We'd object to impeachment on a collateral matter in 403.
Let's try the same bullshit as last time that didn't work.
Overruled.
Overruled. Same dumb argument. You think it's going to work a second time after I've already pushed it? Jesus
Go ahead
Christ.
and play that, video.
This is absolute shit. After this clip, I'm going to call it a night, and we'll join back together and pick some of this up later tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people are awake to the New World Order.
Yeah, definitely. He's got fucking Dr. Strangelove footage behind him. Fuck you. Copyright.
But they're experts in leftist jurisdictions in sending out jury summons and hitting, let's just say this, extremely blue-collar folks.
Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
I mean, half that jury panel does not know who I am.
Yeah, because you're not a blue collar hero. You're more of a refined elite taste, Alex. You're the I wouldn't say you're the champagne, but certainly the alcohol free sparkling white wine substitute. God damn.
They said that, and when they were asked during the jury,
It's Austin, motherfucker. Isn't that where they? Hold on, where the fuck are they? Is this Florida? Where are they? Whatever.
paneling yesterday. Do you believe the media has ever got anything wrong about Alex Jones? They all unanimously said no. So, it's people do live in all these different bubbles. And there's the bubbles that are awake and the bubbles that are questioning, but then there's the blue city bubbles.
The blue city bubbles. So blue is in Democrat as far as blue city, and then there's blue collar, and he, while wearing a blue shirt, I don't know what the fuck.
Where people do
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was in Austin, but
not know what planet they are on.
Mr. Jones, you don't like that this jury is made up of blue-collar folk. You think that's wrong?
No, I don't think that.
I just said that. I don't think it. You know, look, buddy, Your Honor, if I may, I don't think before I speak, okay? If I did, I wouldn't have 3 houses. 6 houses. Fuck me. 7? Jerry, check that.
You don't think they know what planet they're on?
I'm saying some people, like
These people.
you said in your opening statements, that live
Some people, about 12 of them, don't know where the fuck they are.
in bubbles. We all live in bubbles. And if people live
Some of us blow bubbles. Michael Jackson had a monkey named Bubbles.
in the mainstream media,
I wouldn't mind blowing bubbles. Wait, strike that, Your Honor. Move to strike. You said it. I'm sorry.
bubble, they might not have ever seen what I really say or done. That's what I was saying.
Well, then how would they know that you were being criticized or if the criticism had merit, or why would they even give a rat fuck?
I understand that you've been unable to attend a good portion of this trial due to a medical issue. Is that correct?
Only a few, some of it, yes.
Sure. And you told the press outside
Have you missed a single day of broadcast besides today when you're actually testifying?
this courthouse that it was because of an untreated hernia?
Well, I'm going to have to get that taken care of.
Your
and a bunch
Honor.
of other stuff.
I got some other, there's so many things. Ugh. Got an untreated hernia. I'm still not treating it. It's apparently I yelled so much I blew my asshole out. It's
absolutely inappropriate for Mr. Bankston to question Mr. Jones about his health issues. He wasn't under subpoena. He didn't have
that's the point. He's gonna get to. He didn't give a shit if he's missing because of health reasons, but he's gonna point out the fact that he missed court because of health reasons, but he didn't miss shooting.
to be here. It's private information, what is right or wrong with his health.
Was it private? and community?
Okay. Mr. Jones has the right to talk about his health with anyone he wants. We don't. Other people don't. You can talk to him about attendance. He's not required to be here. It's his choice. But let's not go into his. Let's not.
Let's go. Here's what happened. Okay, I know my lawyer doesn't want me to bring this up, but apparently, being a lying piece of shit, it has an effect. It creates a ballooning. In part, like it just every time I yell, it goes like it's like I have a frog in my pants, a big gay frog that I used to drink a lot of Monsanto box wine, and I call it Buddy, and he goes brr, brr. It's like a pet. It's like Quatu from Total Recall, but like a frog on my belly.
I hear you, John.
There wasn't a real legal injection. It's kind of a.
Okay. You've been on
I'm thinking about Quatu, my frog baby.
your show most of last week, pretty much every day last week.
I did
They can check.
an hour here. I taped some as well.
Okay. And you've been screaming and yelling on your show, right?
Yes, just like the media's been doing that.
Yes, the media has been screaming and yelling. I mean, have you watched Chris Hayes lately? Sometimes he even makes his hand go like this when he's saying something. It's terrifying.
You've been coughing on your show, have you? All these coughs in court, they don't happen on the full hour of your show. You don't ever cough, right?
Yeah, I have a special spray that's illegal in Austin, and I only use it there.
I mean, I've got cough drops right here in my pocket. I've got laryngitis and a torn larynx. I mean, it comes and goes. It starts burning, and then it's uncontrollable. And I have actually been coughing a lot on air. If you guys have been watching my show, we'll have a cough button I can step on and cough.
Yeah, that takes the sound away, but you're not going, you dumb son of a bitch.
Button I step on, and I've been hacking.
And it CG's a version of my face that just keeps talking.
Coughing. It's 100% real.
My Alex Jones is getting really good. That frightens me, Deirdre. I'm gonna lose my voice if I.
You were talking about how you.
All right.
On thousands of hours of programming. All right?
This part's about to get saucy. All right, I'm gonna keep at it, but
More than that over the years, yes.
Not all of it's been about Sandy Hook, right? You talk about a lot of other stuff, right?
In our estimation, over 99+% has not been Sandy Hook.
I want to talk about some of the other stuff. Boston bombing. You said it was fake, a DHS drill.
Your Honor, we're going to object 403. No relevance to.
oh yeah, it is. It shows a trend in total disregard for the facts that this is in keeping with his. This is a regular pattern.
We can get into it some because it's been already introduced. Some.
Well, I'm going to show the pattern here. Talking Boston bombing. You've been telling the world, fake, not real. A Department of Homeland Security drill, right?
There was a drill. I think real people got bombed. But we've asked questions on both sides here.
Yeah, you said the
We've asked, both sides of the bombing.
exact opposite. You've in fact said that some of those people who were claimed to be injured were crisis actors in other tragedies. Just like in Sandy Hook, you said.
And we reported on other people saying that.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, you
Fuck you. Back your shit, dummy.
said about some of the
Because even in this situation, you go, yeah, we have, that's, you could even, if you're fucking smart enough, you could actually go, yeah, I've talked about, we believe that crisis actors are used in some of these things by manipulative forces in the government, and it sometimes so much so that when another thing happens, I might not see the forest for the trees, and assume it's happening in other areas, but it definitely happens in these areas, and we have the documents. Like, you can get away with that shit. Just own it, you fucking lame-o.
the people at Sandy Hook. During your coverage of Sandy Hook, you have said they were actually some of the people pretending to be injured in the Boston bombing. You said that.
I don't remember that.
It's on tape.
Okay. Shooting of Representative Gabrielle Giffords. You remember when that happened in Arizona?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't, because she was never shot. She doesn't exist. Gabrielle Giffords is a trans man who works for the CIA. He writes children's books, and he pretended to be shot.
You said that was a government mind control
They took him up to the International Space Station and released him. He is now safe and sound on the moon in a special colony.
operation, right?
I said the guy fit the bill.
Did you say he fit the bill, or did you tell your audience explicitly that was a government mind control operation? What did you do?
I
He specifically said it was.
didn't know you were going to bring this up. That was a long time ago.
Well, I would say, concede the point.
What about the Sutherland Springs church shooting just down the road from here? That wasn't that long ago. You said that was fake, an Antifa false flag. staged operation, right?
I believe we said that happened.
Yeah, but you said that Antifa carried it out.
We questioned, like Uvalde, everybody's questioning that.
Like Uvalde, everybody's questioning that. Not questioning that it was a kid who shot up a bunch of kids. They're just questioning the behavior of the cops. Not their fucking existence, you goon.
Oklahoma City, you said that's a false flag inside job.
Absolutely. I've interviewed the police officers and others that were there, found the other bombs inside. They've been on my show.
You remember the shooting in Parkland, Florida in 2018?
Yes.
And you called a bunch of people crisis actors there. You said crisis actors were used in Parkland, Florida, right?
No, I didn't. I said they had the film, the drama club then go do interviews about it because they had skills to present themselves. I said that I believe.
Jesus fucking Christ. I said they had the drama club from the school. You know, all these kids who've actually been through the trauma just aren't selling it on television. Do you have any really good actors in the high school drama program who could come out and pretend that they just went through a fucking crisis? God damn.
That happened, and I had students on the day after the shooting saying it happened, and that there'd been a police stand down. And then CNN said I'd had actors on, and it wasn't true. I had real people.
You don't remember saying...
Actors are real people. Fuck you. I'm an actor and I'm a real person. My pronouns are and seen.
On the day of and the next day that it was a false flag engineered to start a civil war. Did you say that about Parkland?
Yeah, it didn't work out very well, I will say. As beginnings of civil war, it's no helter skelter, which also didn't work.
They knew about.
By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. We're going long tonight because of this shit. But give me a all right, because this is just going to tee up into something, and we're going to end up doing it all night. And I don't have time for that. I got family stuff tonight. I got to bail out, but in like 10 minutes.
The young deranged man he was known as school shooter. That was his nickname, and he was kicked out of school for threats at the time. And he was, again, left alone.
Sustained.
Mr. Jones, I asked you.
Nobody ever jokes about somebody being psycho who later does psycho things.
That day and the day after, do you remember saying that Parkland was a false flag engineered to start a civil war?
I said it could. I believe it could be.
Okay. Las Vegas, the shooting there at the concert. So that's a false flag. Government operation, right?
Well, a lot of people have questions about.
Nobody's asking about a lot of people, motherfucker. A lot of people aren't on trial. You are. Say what you think, you chicken shit.
Vegas. That was.
So Mr. Jones is sustained. Mr. Jones.
And me.
I know you want to tell what you want to tell us, but this is a question and answer. And so just
answer his fucking questions and don't tell him it. A lot of people. I'm not the only gullible son of a bitch.
Mr. Reynal can ask you questions later and you'll get to answer them right now.
Understand.
You have to just listen to the question that Mr. Bankston asked.
That's why you have an attorney. They get to do this part. They get to do your rebuttal piece or to push back. So answer the fucking questions. It looks better to the jury if you're not argumentative, I think. These are legal theories. I'm curious what you in the chat might think.
And just answered that question.
Okay.
All right, let's try again.
Las Vegas shooting. You said it's a false flag, government operation.
I'm going to object 4-3 again. I think we've done enough down this road, Your Honor.
We'll finish with this one.
Okay.
I believe it should be investigated.
It was investigated, dum-dum.
Would you agree with me that there is not a mass tragedy, mass bombing, mass shooting that has occurred in America in the past 15 years that you have not attached the words false flag?
I have asked the question because I believe a lot of things are provocateur or allowed to happen. I believe children died in Uvalde, and
some of them were made out of rubber.
Objection, non-responsive.
okay.
Sustained.
Mr. Jones, please listen to my question. It's a
Okay.
very, very simple question. Okay. You would agree with me
That your business model is to go on the air after every mass tragedy of every possible stripe and say, the government did it, they're coming for you, buy your prepper food from me and your dick pills and your fucking diet pills, and get ready to climb down in the bunker when Uncle Alex tells you to go.
That every single mass tragedy, mass shooting, mass bombing that you can recall right now in the past 15 years, you have attached the words false flag to it. Yes or no?
Believe me, they've got a montage waiting, asshole.
No.
Okay. You remember yesterday?
Is there one that you can think of that you think that you didn't? That if we went back and looked, that's the follow-up question. Is there a single one you can think of, because you just said that pretty quickly, is there a single one you can think of where if we went back and looked at your coverage, you didn't do it?
You were testifying about what the word synthetic means over on that board?
Yes.
Okay, and you testified that when you use the term synthetic, that means real stuff happened, but that it was being provocatorized with provocateurs, right?
It can mean both, but yes, generally.
Okay. Well, I'd like to...
Yes, it can be genuinely synthetic.
To show you right now from Plaintiff's Exhibit 13A, Plaintiff's Video Exhibit 13A in evidence, an example of you talking about something
Hold on.
being synthetic.
Can I just say,
Play Plaintiff's Video Exhibit 13A.
every time...
Synthetic. So can we play Plaintiff's Video Exhibit 13A?
Yeah, when you're trying to, decipher cloak and dagger, dirty tricks, it's pretty hard to do. It's just that when you learn.
It's like, anytime they start playing clips of you and you're like, ugh, and it's not because, man, did I really wear that shirt?
That they were funded by Western funding. Then you learn that it was the same Amarillo-Lockheed connection underwear bomber. Then those are big red flags that they were patsy provocateurs. The classic MO has been followed. And then, yeah, it kind of becomes a red herring, to say the whole thing.
Gee, I can't imagine why the Young Turks liked him so much back in the day.
Was staged because they have staged events before, but then you learn the school had been closed and reopened, and you got video of the kids going in circles.
He's talking about Sandy Hook.
In and out of the building, and they don't call the rescue choppers for 2 hours, and then they tear the building down and seal it, and they get caught using blue screens, and a email by Bloomberg comes out in the lawsuit where he's telling his people, get ready in the next 24 hours to capitalize on a shooting. So Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first. I knew they had actors there, clearly, but I thought they killed some real kids. And it just shows how bold they are.
Fuck this dude.
That they clearly used actors. They even ended up using photos of kids killed in mass shootings here in a fake mass shooting in Turkey. So, yeah, or Pakistan. The sky is now the limit. I appreciate your call.
Now, I think you'll agree with me, Mr. Jones, that when you were testifying yesterday about what the term synthetic means, you did not tell the jury it can mean both. You told them, would you agree with me, that it means something really happened. That's what you mean. That's what you said yesterday?
No. I'm saying that's totally synthetic. Back at the time for that 1 year, I was saying that it totally didn't happen in like 2014 or whatever it was.
Rejection, non-responsive.
No, that's not.
Okay, after the beginning.
Synthetic can mean that they were real people, but they fused it, or that they took advantage of it, or they set up a false, like it's what the Bloomberg statement means, get ready for a mass shooting, because it's a real mass shooting and we're going to use it, or any of that shit. Like, it's just, this is a distinction without a difference. He's just being a prick.
It's the same.
We'll move on. Let's talk about Jim Fetzer for a minute. All right, I believe you just testified that you figured out Jim Fetzer was a little nutty. You came to that conclusion, right?
Yes.
Around 2015, is what you testified to?
I don't remember the exact dates.
No, you just got it. You seem to remember pretty well when Mr. Reynal was testifying that you apparently put a ban on Sandy Hook coverage in 2015, right?
Objection, compound.
I told him I can't remember. I had notes. I can't.
Okay, when you hear objection, that means you wait.
Shut the fuck up.
Objection, compound,
Yeah, we began with Fetzer and we ended with...
sustain.
Oh, he's not liking it now. He's This is not going well. This is right now. You're seeing the Alex Jones that shows up in Infowars meetings when subscribership is down and nobody's buying the lead-lined dick pills anymore.
Do one question
Sure.
at a time.
Lead-laced, I suppose.
Please, Mr. Bankston.
By 2015,
No, laced would mean they did it on purpose. They just don't give a shit.
you claiming you put a ban on Sandy Hook stuff, right? Just testified to that?
I believe that's around the time I told people.
Is he Q? No, he's not Q. Q is Ron Watson and his dad or whatever.
Stop covering it.
And you knew Fetzer
Jim and Ron.
by that time. You figured out he was not well, right?
Yes.
And were you here for the testimony of your corporate representative, Brittany Paz? I don't know if you were here for that.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Were you aware, either from seeing her testimony at an earlier point or from hearing about it secondhand, were you aware that she testified that at the time the company was using Jim Fetzer's material, that they knew he was not a well man? Did you see that testimony?
Yeah, but that applies to everybody they have on Infowars. If they had to only have on guests that weren't fucking lunatics, I mean, the studio would be empty. The lights would be off. Even the techs wouldn't be able to show up.
I didn't see that testimony.
Okay, if Ms. Paz testified to that, if your corporate representative got up here and testified when we were using Fetzer stuff, we knew he was not credible, would you disagree with that? Is she telling the truth?
I mean, I think she would have to be mistaken. We didn't have a corporate rep, so we went and hired someone to come look at all our books and everything and try to figure out what was going on. So, but no, I never interviewed Fetzer on that. None of us interviewed him on Sandy Hook. So, did we cover a news article that might have had a quote by him or something in it? I saw that, but we weren't closely associated with him at that time, is my memory.
At that time.
Again, objection on this one.
It's the same.
With respect to Mr. Halbig, I believe he testified also just now. You figured out he was crazy.
Can't leave now? All right. Okay. All right.
Right?
Sometime around then, yeah.
Okay. And in fact, though, did you see Mrs. Paz's testimony? Where she said the company received emails from Wolfgang Halbig as early as 2014 that
Oh, for
they
the
thanked
texts?
him for.
Oh, this is
That
we're
they
getting to the
knew
text part?
We're crazy. Did you see that testimony?
I did not see that testimony.
Okay, and you understand that she
And I do mean Nazi.
talked to all your employees, right?
I did not see that testimony. I not seen it personally.
She went and interviewed people and figured out what they thought about Mr. Halbig. You understand that happened?
That's what we hired her to do.
She talked to you too, right?
Yes.
And she went in there and testified under oath on behalf of the company that the company, in 2014, knew he was crazy and was thanking him for the things he was providing that were crazy, right?
Well, that's not my understanding of it, so.
Okay. Well, at least you here saying that you knew by 2015 he was crazy. So certainly we shouldn't see any things that Mr. Halbig said on your show after 2015, should we?
Oops.
I told you that the dates all blur together.
They all blur together. Who cares what I said to my lawyer under oath a moment ago? When you get up, I think it's you. I think you make me blurry.
Sure. I understand. So it could have been, heck, maybe just yesterday you realized that Mr. Halbig was going to be a huge liability for you, right?
No, it was a long time ago.
Okay. Let's talk about a little 2015. You said you stopped covering Sandy Hook in 2015.
At some point.
Right, and I believe Mr. Reynolds
I need more water.
put Exhibit 31 in front of you, right? You know the list of videos?
Yes.
One you made notes on?
No, I wasn't allowed to have the list.
Right, but you made notes on that video? On that list?
I watched it, and I made some notes so I could try to accurately answer the questions.
Okay, and you testified from that stopping in July 2015, which is the last video we have on that list in 2015, that for the next 16 months you didn't cover Sandy Hook. That's what you said?
I did not testify from it. I wasn't allowed to have it.
No, I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you the video. July 2015 is the last one we have on that list. And we know you reviewed that list to calculate how long you didn't cover Sandy Hook. And you're going to tell me from July 2015 for the next 16 months you didn't cover Sandy Hook.
Not in the list we have. We tried to find everything.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
can you put up Exhibit 73 for me? Now you understand I don't have all your videos about Sandy
Excuse me, I need another lozenge.
Hook either. You understand that, right? Correct, Mr. Jones?
If you say so.
No, how about you say so? You understand that, right?
We have located what we were able to find. We believe it's almost all of it.
Now, you remember Rob Dew testifying as your corporate representative. God knows where all the videos are. Remember that?
That's deplatforming, because
Right, objection non-responsive. Do you remember Rob Dew saying?
Just answer the question,
No, I don't.
Mr. Jones. Thank you.
See this email right here?
That's deplatforming. Once we were kicked off there, I don't have a copy of the shows. Bullshit.
You've seen it a few times in the lawsuit, haven't you?
They directly record the show to a hard drive and save it in case anything goes down and they need it. They don't live stream to fucking YouTube like I do and hope the recording stays. Get the fuck out of here. They haven't ever.
yes.
This is Mr. Watson warning you, not in June 2015, not in March 2015, but he is warning you in December 2015 that this Sandy Hook stuff is killing us, correct?
Yes.
I think we can surmise pretty easily from this email that in July 2015 you did not put a ban on Sandy Hook. And in fact, there are videos that we don't have that Mr. Watson is talking about. You agree with me?
I mean, I don't know that, and that's us trying to get them to not talk about it.
Is that what that is?
Trying to not talk about it. Motherfucker, what do you mean us? It's you. What's us? Them not cutting together pieces that directly shit on Sandy Hook to play in between your rants where you shit on Sandy Hook?
That's you trying to. I think that's Mr. Watson telling you, Mr. Jones,
And me.
a warning,
Teach each other fairy tales.
right?
No. I was telling people not to cover it too.
Really? Who
Yes.
are you telling that to?
Don Salazar, Rob Dew, because they were still convinced it didn't happen.
Now, I know you said that Mr. Schroyer came later, so maybe he didn't hear the instruction, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, the Amish psychopath.
we'll get to that. Let's talk a little more about
Lost. He's not really Amish. He lost his mustache in a bet.
2015. You talked about Dan Badani, right?
Yes.
During that period. And you described him as a part-time reporter, right?
Yes, even when he's working for us.
If that, by the end, yes.
If that. Maybe not even a part-time reporter.
Yeah, I mean, even when he's being a reporter, he's sometimes not a reporter. Most of the time, I would say 80-20.
Right? That's what
Well, he
you're
was a
saying?
full-time reporter for a while, and then we let him go, and he went back to Connecticut, or I think Rhode Island's where he lived, and then he went out.
So before we go any further, I just want to make sure now we have what the testimony is. Because he was a part-time reporter, but now he's a full-time reporter? Which is it?
No. He first came, he entered some contests and stuff. He wasn't a reporter then.
We were using him for free, kind of like I used the cable access system and the VA benefits that were going to that guy who helped seed Infowars in the first place. And
He came down to Austin and was a full-time employee for like
please come to Austin for the Infowars.
6 months, if memory serves. Then we let him go.
Hey, random guy, won't you settle down? Austin ain't your kind of town.
And then he asked if he could still just do some stuff on the side over the years, and
So he was your side piece, is what you're telling
did
me.
some things.
And he did some things. Okay, good. We got that. Make sure the stenographer got that. He did some
See his
things.
testimony in the courtroom when it was played? Are you here for that?
No.
So I'm guessing you also, even unless you heard it secondhand, you didn't see Mr. Badani testify that he was a producer for the Alex Jones show and spent 6 days a week with you. You didn't see that?
Well, that's not true.
Okay, Mr. Badani's lying.
I think he's mistaken.
Okay. And
You're mistaken. It wasn't 6 days. I don't go into the studio that much. I pre-tape Fridays, and basically, like what I do is I make up travesties. They're going to happen on Saturday, and then I pre-record them.
the truth is, you didn't fire him until late 2016 when he embarrassed you at a Trump rally. You remember us talking about that? Me and you?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I don't remember ever being upset at a Trump rally. My throat's gonna be fucked after this if I'm not careful. Jesus.
I want to talk a little bit about your final statement on Sandy Hook, right? And you testified that the reason that you did that final statement in 2016 is so that you could tell the world that you thought it really happened, right?
That was at the beginning of me doing that.
Beginning of you doing that. And I think, as we've seen in this case, that is the video in which you said, if children were killed at Sandy Hook, my heart goes out to those parents. But the problem is, I've seen actors before, and I know when I'm watching a movie, and I know when I'm watching something real. Do you remember seeing you say that in the
Yes, I did say that.
Okay. And that was your final statement. Looking directly at camera, addressing the people who say they're parents I see on TV, right? That was your final statement.
But it wasn't my final statement.
Sure wasn't. But it certainly
Yeah, it was your final statement until the lawsuits showed up.
wasn't to go on the world and tell the world that it probably happened. In fact, it was the exact opposite, wasn't it, Mr.
I believe I actually say I think it happened on the tape.
Jury has that in evidence. They could be watching. Let's talk about 2017, the Megyn Kelly interview.
Oh boy.
You remember you talked about how that was filmed in April, right?
Why? Hey, you can't crunch fucking lozenges like candy, motherfucker. If you got a throat problem, then use the fucking lozenges.
I'm not allowed to have notes, but I think around then,
I don't understand, Mr. Jones, that when you were asked questions on direct examination about when these events happened, and were very quickly able to say it happened in April 2017.
Now, yeah, you make me fuzzy.
Why, when
Obviously, you have some sort of DARPA ray.
I asked the same question, you're very confused.
I said I think that too.
Hal Sparks, swift justice. Objection, Your Honor. Non-responsive.
Then I don't remember exactly. I think so.
All right. Well, in April 2017, the other thing you did right after that interview is film a video called Sandy Hook Vampires Exposed, didn't you?
Oh.
Yes.
And in that video, you were saying a lot of things like Sandy Hook wasn't even an operating school. You remember seeing that being played in this court?
I believe so.
Yeah. And
I believe I remember seeing it. I don't know if I remember saying it and editing it and putting it out and reviewing it because I'm being sued. There is no fucking way that anybody who's in a trial of this magnitude does not personally review all this stuff. It is not believable. If somebody was like, there's a video of you saying something on one of your live streams from this particular date and you're being sued for it, you're goddamn right I would watch every fucking second of it. And I would watch every show preceding for the previous week or anything related to the fucking topic. There's no way he didn't look at shit.
that's something that How Big told you. Or that you were relying on How Big for it, right?
I had seen articles and things about it then as well.
You had seen articles
Thank you, Christine. I will.
that Sandy Hook wasn't
hard.
an operating school. Is that what you're testifying to under oath right now?
I had seen people do articles about it. I don't remember the exact articles.
Yeah, I saw them do the articles. I didn't read the articles. I just watched them actually type them over their shoulder. Add this. They were people who work for Infowars. The articles were on our website. Fuck you.
All right, but what we can know is that in 2017, shortly before these people brought their suit, you were on Infowars saying Sandy Hook wasn't an operating school, right?
If you say so, play the video.
Yeah, I mean, if it's right up to the fucking day before I got served and then all of a sudden my tone changed.
Play the video.
I know I want you. If you can.
Perhaps he's on the spectrum. On the bullshit spectrum. This fucking's not on the spectrum. This is a man lying to save his finances on the stand. This is not a personality trait you're seeing right here. This is an ethics issue.
Testify that. Do you even remember what was played in this courtroom?
I've seen it. Seen a lot. I think I did say that.
I've never watched so much of my own fucking show.
You also remember you and Mr. Dude talking about how much you wanted to see the bodies? There's no bodies. They never showed us any bodies.
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I'm that kind of a prick.
And you'll agree with me in that video, you were saying a bunch of the same stuff from Wolfgang Halbig that the company knew as far back from 2014 was crazy. You going to admit to that now? Or are you going to deny that?
I thought we were talking about Halving in 2015. Thinking,
Oh, fuck you, man. The point is, when you had these emails where you're like, we got to stop talking about this shit, we're going to be in big trouble, and then they filed a lawsuit, and you kept saying the shit.
Well, we're now in 2017. And we had actually, you said 2015. You remember I asked you about Mrs. Pa's testimony in 2014. You remember that?
yes.
Okay. So what I'm asking you now is that whether it's you in 2015 knowing it, or whether Ms. Pa says the company knew it in 2014, regardless of which one of those, that was years later in 2017. Infowars is still publishing the things from how big it knows are crazy.
I hadn't read those emails, so I don't.
Hold on, Mr. Jones. Hold on.
The emails to you that are in relation to this case.
Testify.
Level 4 hype train. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support the show. I'm not making 800 a day, much less 800K a day, much less 200. So any way you can help out, that'd be awesome. Like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. The easy way is, of course, just to subscribe on both YouTube and Twitch, and follow me on Facebook and also Twitter. Just do it. You know you're on all 4 platforms. Oh, thank you, Water Goddess. I will do that very thing. Hold on. Oh my gosh, Leslie, thank you so much. You guys. Hi, Guy. Guy Norman B, who I love, who's an amazing director and a good soul. He just texted me like, dude, this Alex Jones shit. I know, right? You're right?
You knew how big it was crazy.
Because he started saying that I was covering up Sandy Hook.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
And I wasn't covering it up. I don't have the power to do that. I was just shitting on the parents and the dead kids and the people who work there and the police and the EMTs and the coroner who did the autopsies and the funeral directors and the people who sold the fucking flowers and the traffic cops on the days of the funeral and the fucking mayor and anybody who actually gives a shit about these kids who might be disgusted or heartbroken to hear this kind of stuff.
now, in 2017,
Level 4 hype train.
2 years later, you're repeating all the things Halbig says, knowing he was crazy.
Halbig wasn't the only one saying that.
So, yeah, you were too, dummy.
The other
Objection, non-responsive.
The other whatever.
Same.
Let's talk about Plaintiff's Exhibit 21, which is the video that your attorney played. That 17-minute video that was on, I believe, the day before your Megyn Kelly video was going to air.
yes, I
And
think.
I think you would agree with me that you were trying to urge NBC not to air it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Because it's devastating to my case.
I noticed that you said in that video that the media never quotes what I said. Right? They always just try to paraphrase it. They don't actually use the real quotes. Right?
In general, yes.
Okay. But 0 Point Now, this anonymous blogger, he did quote what you said. And you said he did a good job. I want him to write for me. You remember hearing that in the video?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went through what 0 Point Now was quoting about what you said.
Oh yeah. Should we skip to the text? Yes, we can watch the rest of this stuff tomorrow. Let's see if he gets that part. We will. I'll double back because it's at 152 where we are. Oh, these are the texts?
70K pure profit. That's what he told you. In deposition, under oath, sworn to God, you said you don't have any emails with Sandy Hook because you don't use email, right?
I mean,
I mean, swear to God.
I think I have. I mean, I haven't been using Infowars email, and it's got to be a decade or longer in my memory.
Hey, dummy, it doesn't have to be Infowars fucking email. If it's fucking WhatsApp and they ask for it.
I don't.
We're with Infowars.com email.
No, Mr. Jones. No. It's not what I'm asking. You notice when Mr. Watson emailed you, right? He didn't have an Infowars email address, does he? He has like paulwatson@sky.com. It's a UK email address. Did you know
Yes.
that? Right.
Well, he can't use that anymore.
We asked for all emails, and you told us you don't use email, and there are no emails for Sandy Hook. That's what you said under oath, isn't it?
Let me see. There's a... oh, God. I'm thinking. I'm trying to remember. There was a...
There might be, I'm sure there might be like privileged emails where like
Privileged emails? What?
lawyers requesting documents or stuff about the case.
Mr. Jones.
Privileged emails. Fuck you.
Yeah.
First, objection non-responsive. Did you testify under oath that you do not use email and that there are no responsive emails relating to this case? Did you testify to that?
Yes, I personally do not get on the internet and sit there and use email. I never send emails myself because I don't like it. I can't stand it. There's just too many of them. That's a fact that I don't use email. I call people on the telephone.
Okay.
I call people on the telephone. I make sure it's a number they don't recognize. I speak through a voice modulator that makes my voice sound human. Hype train.
Your Honor, excuse me, Mr. Jones. I'll show you this document. Is that your email address?
Yes.
Did you
I don't use email. Is that your email address? Yes.
write an email?
We found this on Hunter Biden's laptop, by the way. By the way, I'm not...
Is that an email, Mr. Jones?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. So
I'm not reading it. It's just from, what's this have to do with Sandy Hook?
I'm not asking you a question other than that's an email you've sent. Let's start there. Can you do that? Can you say that's an email you sent?
I must have dictated that to my assistant.
Okay, so there are, you would agree with me.
That's not an... You don't get to say, I don't use email. I don't sit there on the computer and use email when you dictate them through another person that, by the way, we can fucking call as a witness to go, hey, did this asshole make you write this shit? Yes. Did he make you write this shit? Yes. Did you add any of your own ideas to this? No.
There are emails, yeah, a little thing, I'm done with that. There are emails that you've sent to your lawyers, your staff, and others concerning your business operations that we requested for, Sandy Hook, other topics that have been requested in this lawsuit, like Zero Hedge. You'd agree those emails, they exist. Do you agree with that or not?
I've dictated emails to people, and you guys have gone and gotten other people to give you their emails. But that is my personal email that I use for personal stuff. Has nothing to do with Sandy Hook, unless lawyers have sent me emails there that my assistant prints off for me.
You talked yesterday about prepackaged
Jesus
food.
Christ.
Remember that?
Also, I don't have an assistant. Whenever somebody goes, my assistant, I do this. Like throwing your fucking assistant under the bus is just a fucking dick move.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't remember yesterday testifying
I don't remember yesterday. I just remember doing what they told me.
about selling prepackaged.
For a price, I'll do about anything.
Oh, yes.
And you sell these, some of them come in tubs that you could, for instance, like store for a long time in case something horrible happens, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you talk about that's one of your big items. That's a big deal type thing on Infowars.
Sure.
Okay. And you also talked about how it's a tough business in a lot of ways because you only have about a 20% profit margin on sale of food.
Said about 20 to 40, yes.
20 to 40% profit margin? Motherfucker, Target has a 3% profit margin. Target. Oh, thank you for spotting Mind Crime, Robin.
So
Rev revolution calling. All right.
For instance, so for every $100,000 in sales of food, that means you're profiting $20,000, maybe even up to $40,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking Walmart doesn't make those kind of numbers.
I'll show you another document.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Johnson. This has been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 132. Do you see that?
Yes.
Those are text messages of Tim Fruget, the operations manager of Infowars, right?
Wait, the guy who runs the operations guy at Infowars named Tim Fruget? If this asshole doesn't have a mustache and a monocle, I'm going to be very upset.
Yes.
And we requested information about your revenues in this case. You remember that?
Yes.
Didn't give us this, did you?
There's a lot of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, you didn't even look through your text messages, Mr. Jones. You hit him, right? Correct?
You hit him. Oh, look at the Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look at that. You didn't even give us a text message. You hit him, didn't you? Look at his face. Oh, can we just sit and enjoy this for a second? Ooh. Ooh. Talk about. There's a lot of stuff. You hit him. I mean, watch his face react to that again. Watch when he says you hit him. Watch his face.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah, you didn't even look through your text messages, Mr. Jones. You hit him, right? Correct?
See that little eyebrow? Huh? That one of like, the what now?
no.
Okay.
I gave it to the lawyers. That's why you have it.
That's not
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
This is ridiculous. Move to strike non-responsive. The judge is getting annoyed.
32.
Are you
Let's
moving
just-
to admit it?
Yes, can we, no, yes, I'm sorry. Can we move to admit Plaintiff's 132 at this time?
Any objection?
Yeah, we can raid the liberal Dan when we're done.
Plaintiff's 132 is admitted.
Before we put that up, Mr. Jones, I just want to make sure you understand something about these emails. You understand that when your attorney sent me your whole phone, he didn't mean to do that. You understand that?
Objection, Your Honor.
I just want to make sure this is not discovery.
Well, I do think it's important that, since we're discussing all of this, that the jury understands discovery is a process that occurs and concludes well before trial.
And what is being addressed here today is due to what we in the legal field call a massive fuck up.
What the lawyers say isn't evidence, so we don't know whether it was on accident or on purpose,
Oh,
because we don't have evidence about that. But what we do know.
so what the judge is saying is they got the phone. They weren't necessarily supposed to get the phone, but they had the phone. And it's very possible that somebody on Alex Jones's team sent the phone on purpose and went oops when they mailed it.
Is that it wasn't properly turned over when it should have been. There's
If it should have been.
no question, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
So you need to ask a question that is not cause for speculation. And even if Mr. Jones does know, he would have gotten that information from Mr. Reynal, his attorney, and so it would be
It was a fuck up.
protected, most likely.
Most likely. Mr. Jones, you know what Bates numbers are, right? We've talked about the
I
MIG.
believe that's these.
Yes, he has mastered the Bates numbers many times.
No, you're talking about an exhibit sticker.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, we've talked in deposition before that there are Bates numbers on the bottoms of documents that your company produces for this lawsuit, and they start with FSSTX, and then they have a long number after.
Okay.
No Bates number on this, is there?
But it was, I gave it to the lawyers, like I told you, at the start of this testimony.
Mr. Jones,
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, I know it's hard, but I know you can do it.
All right.
The question,
Is there a Bates number on it? No.
there's no base number on this document.
No, there's
is
not.
there? Thank you, and please don't interrupt me or the lawyers.
Let's display 132.
Go.
Let's go to the last two messages. Can you pull those up?
Sorry. What a prick.
Mr. Fruge Fruge? How do I say it?
Frugilite. Monsieur Frugilite to you.
Forget.
All right, so Mr. Fruge, you would agree with me that pretty much every day he sends you an update on how much the store has sold, and sometimes he lets you know how much profit you made, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have all of that.
And in this message, he says 110 gross sales in food equates to almost 70K pure profit. That's what he told you.
That's what that says, and that's not what it does. So this,
Oh, he's a lying piece of shit. That's what you can't get good help these days.
I have a
Ebenezer Fruge.
question about it. So.
Okay. Can we
So you pay someone to lie to you every day. Good. Okay. Moving on.
go up to the... Yeah, hey, Mr. Jones?
And me teach each other fairy tales. Sorry.
Did you respond with a question?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's pull up the big bucket. Yeah, that one.
The question, by the way, was, does he send you these updates every day? Yes. Does it say right there that equates to like 70,000 in profit out of 120, which is clearly more than 20 or 40%, so you're hiding how much money you make? Oh, he's not liking this one. The finger tapping starts. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This shows some of the totals per day, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is something Mr. Fruge would send you from time to time. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, you can take that down, Melissa. I think it's clear, would you agree with me, to everyone in this courtroom,
Uh-huh.
that the statement that you only get 20% or 40% profit margin on food was not true.
No, I could bring those numbers in here and show you that.
Well, I asked you for those numbers. I asked you for those numbers, and I didn't get them. And instead, now I have this text message that says something totally different. Do you think, in those circumstances, anyone should believe a word you say?
Ring bonk. Ring bonk.
I'm confused by that because that's not the margin on it. I wish that was the margin.
I'm going to show you what's in Mark Plaintiff's 130.
Oh, he's even doing the side tooth grind.
More messages, Mr. Fruge, isn't it?
Oh, he's got more. Oh.
Yeah, these were our best sale numbers ever. I remember this.
Oh, yeah.
This was during CPAC.
I'd like to move 134 into evidence this time.
Any objection?
I don't see the relevance, Your Honor, frankly.
Yeah. This is about financial damages and whether or not he's truthful, A, about what he says and what he said, and also what he makes and what he doesn't make are both meaningful to exactly what's happening in the fuck case closed, slam it, damn.
Processing numbers in 2020.
I will make that mention very quickly. If you want to see what I would like or discuss it, then check in.
So the only objection is relevance. Mr. Jones has recognized it, so I will overrule the objection and admit plaintiff's exhibit 134.
You're gonna need another binder, Judge. Just for the shit he talks about you.
Let's go ahead and bring up the phone.
I'm sorry, but just look when the email comes up on the monitor, and he's like, "Oh God." Watch that again. That's beautiful. This is classic filmmaking. There needs to be an Emmy for this. What? Pan over, hold, bink. Oh no.
Before you do that, Moose,
I'm not looking at that. I don't know what it is.
we've heard a lot of in this courtroom is how you've lost millions, lost everything. And the deplatforming, all of it, has caused you to lose everything, right? We've heard that?
Yes.
Not everything.
Indeed.
No, I have not lost everything, but I'm working on it.
Can we bring up this level, Melissa?
If I try really hard today, I might actually do it. Okay, here's the list of your finances that say you've actually done better once you got quote-unquote deplatformed.
Now, we've seen some revenue numbers. You remember that in Plaintiff's Exhibit 35 that you testified about? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And in those revenue figures, you would agree with me that generally speaking, between 2016 and 2018, Infowars was making somewhere between $100,000 and $2,000 a day in sales.
Yes.
Okay.
$102,000 a day, and that was low numbers.
And we see here that that's not always true, is it? That some days you're making $800,000, $745,000 a day, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you guys cherry picked the best numbers we ever had. That's why I remember this.
Right, Mr. Jones. So what I'm saying is,
Some days you make 9 days your usual amount.
well after your deplatforming,
These are like Hassan Piker numbers.
your numbers kept getting better. You kept having better days.
No, it's deplatformed.
He's making the Jimmy Dore bucks now.
It's gone down. This was
I'm kidding. Jimmy only makes that every month.
CPAC. Because I remember these numbers.
Sure. But you know, the problem is, Mr. Jones, I have the very limited years of revenue that you've provided, but I don't have anything else, do I, from you on that? Not until this, right?
You guys have been given the gross numbers that they're accurate.
Okay, Mr. Jones. $800,000 a day. If you cut that pace up, which I don't know what you did the rest of the year, because I don't have it.
Well, that's one day out of here.
I'm asking you, Mr. Jones.
That's 1 day. $800,000. 1 day.
Please let me finish my question.
For what? Selling, honest to God, selling prepper food, dick pills, and I don't know, like $5 fee to watch one of his Infowars documentaries? Jesus.
Is that for me? You need to respond verbally so she understands.
Yes.
Type it down. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
And me.
If you're able to keep up that pace for the rest of that year, you're able to launch more of these specials and sales, and you can keep going at $800,000 a day. That would come out to an average of something like $300 million in a year. That's about right?
Gross, yes.
Gross. Yeah. I mean, after we're done paying all of our techs and our power bill and our internet setup and our, well, we bought the desk from a Chinese company that makes shit for pennies on the dollar. So, I mean, we're only taking home 299.5.
$300 million. And then I think we saw your revenues from so we saw a few months of 2015 on the beginning of that document, right? Do you remember that document you relied on and testified about, Plaintiff's Exhibit 35?
I mean, I saw it, yes.
Okay. And it had a couple of months from 2015 on it, but not a whole lot of sales on that, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So we're mainly just talking about 2016, 2018, right? You remember that? 165 million.
Say yes, dummy.
You remember testifying to
Yes.
that? Okay. And I know you testified about your profit margins, but I think we've seen that now. That you were saying
That's bullshit.
that's gross. So that maybe doesn't, we'd have to calculate what your profit is, right? Okay. But after
I'm
seeing,
sorry, I need a yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you.
but after seeing all of that, all of those millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions, are you aware that your attorney has argued that this is what you should pay for the damages that your company admits under oath through your corporate representative it caused? Were you aware of that? $1? Are you aware?
Yes, I know we were,
Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with it?
$1. Is that? We done? I'll pay it for you. Are we done?
What does the New York Times do for lying about WMDs?
I don't think there's any point in asking you any more questions.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Reno?
Yeah, so he gets to redirect or whatever. All right, we'll stop there. Fucking hell, what a gross prick. Oh. I've seen court suicide. Yeah, this is really bad. That's where this goes, by the way, is chat room, is this goes to offshore cash and him hiding it and all that kind of stuff. That's what's coming. That comes, I think, later in this conversation, is that once they start talking about how now they got to talk about whether he's guilty or not. They'll rest on that part. They'll do closing arguments, and then they'll move to the punitive phase, which is how much he should actually pay, and that's the next part of it. This is a tip into that, where he'll go, "We only have this much money, Your Honor," and that's when the plaintiff side will go, "Well, he said he has this much, and we now know he has this much. So he's been lying to us from the very beginning. We think there should be, double this or whatever." By the way, there are more vile emails and trap porn and all types of other stuff on Alex Jones's phone than there were on even the fake Hunter Biden laptop. And one of the lawyers, apparently, for Alex Jones said that something along the lines of wait till law enforcement gets a hold of this phone. Because here's the thing, if as a member of the court or whatever who gets something, whether they're supposed to or not, if they find it on the fucking street, if they, and there's a chain of evidence in this that's way tighter than the Hunter Biden, bullshit fabrication from hell, where the lawyer send it to this lawyer, the lawyer as an officer of the court is then going to show it in court, admit it, the contents in evidence, and then give the phone itself in the same format to law enforcement. Bye-bye. Not going to copy it and give them a copy and keep the original for myself and make multiple copies and pass them around. No, this phone entered into evidence, and then the rest of it goes to the actual phone goes to the fucking police, which is how it works. This dude is so fucked. And he's going to declare bankruptcy and then say it's fucking free speech or some shit or whatever. There'll be a criminal trial around this, though, around the shit, like just even if it's just financials.